Hello and welcome to Cupertino Ask the Mayor. I'm Dorothy Cornelius, the City Clerk of Cupertino, and here next to me is our Mayor, Barbara Rogers. Good evening, Barbara.
Good evening, Dorothy.
Before we get underway, just in case you haven't seen this program before, I'd like to tell you how it works. If you have a question regarding anything going on in the city or any concerns, you may even wish to pay a compliment or say something nice about the city, just call the number that you see on the screen. That's 252-4641. Give your name and a very brief outline of what you want to talk to the mayor about, and the operator will put your call through directly to Mayor Rogers, and she will answer whatever question you may have or listen to your comments as quickly as possible. Now, we do recommend that you call early in the show, because what often happens is, say, the last 5 minutes of this program, we'll get a lot of calls, and then the mayor can't get back to you in time. So please call as early as possible. And Barbara, I know last night there was a council meeting, and it was a rather lengthy council meeting. Council did make a lot of decisions, and perhaps you could tell those watching a little bit about what did happen last night.
I'd be glad to. I think that the things that will most interest the audience are that we will be meeting in August with representatives of the Golden Triangle Task Force. Those are the 5 cities of Mountain View, Milpitas, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, and San Jose, and they're working together to try to come to some solution for traffic development and how development should be phased. And they are still talking to each other, which is a real plus and speaks well, I think, for their concern. And now we have been invited as a city, along with the cities of Palo Alto and Fremont, to join that group. So we'll be meeting with them in August at a special council meeting to hear what it is that we would benefit in joining, what it would cost us to join, and basically why we should enter into whatever agreement they propose.
Barbara, may I just interject something, because I think it's important that the people watching know that is a public meeting.
Yes.
And certainly the citizens are invited to attend, and that's going to be at 7 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday, August the 6th. And the reason I wanted to mention that is I know so many people in this area consider traffic as one of the major issues that we face as a community.
That's correct. And it will be listed on the character generator, the scroll on channel 30 there, where there's no other programming. It shows what's upcoming. So that will be listed along with the other meetings in August, since there'll be no August scene. We'll also try to get it in the paper. Additionally, last night we had a request to rezone some property on Larry Way, and it would have amounted to spot zoning from agricultural to residential. And with Councilman Sparks, I should say Mayor Pro Tem Sparks absent, we had a 2-2 split on whether to grant that change in zoning. 2 of the council members felt as though spot zoning was not a good thing to do, and 2 members felt that the case was justified. So we continued that item until our next council meeting, when we will have all 5 of us, and presumably we'll avoid a 2-2 split. The other item in conjunction with that was a request from the Planning Commission to look at rezoning that whole Larry Way, Randy Way area to bring it to residential from an agricultural zoning, and we decided not to look at that at all. It will stay the way it is. We renewed the bingo permit for Cupertino High School Boosters Club. We adopted the new budget for 1986-87, and just very briefly, these are the same numbers that are in the Cupertino scene. Park development is $220,000, buildings and grounds $8,557,000, I'm confused. These are all in thousands, so it'd be $220,000, $8,557,000 for buildings and grounds, $185,000 for medians and overpasses, $2,660,000 for street improvements, $170,000 for traffic signals, $247,000 for storm drains, and $648,000 for water drains, making a total of $12,687,000 for capital improvements. We're doing a lot in the way of capital improvements this year, as you will have noticed. We've been saving to be able to do that when the time was right, and we feel like it needs to be done this year. The city's operating budget for this coming fiscal year will be $14,200,000. That's up a little bit from last year, but not very much. There are copies of not only the very thick budget, but also a much thinner summary budget, which are available from the Finance Department if anyone is interested in coming in or even in getting a copy to take home. It is an interesting document if you like budgets. The other thing we did in regard to the budget was to set the tax rate for the city, and that's .002 per $100 of full cash value for the City Hall bonds, and .005 cents for $100 full cash value for park bonds. And we set a fiscal appropriation limit of $19,203,000 and some odd dollars.
Barbara, I just wanted to mention that for those who can't come to City Hall during our normal business hours to look at the budget, if you're interested, there's also a copy available at the Cupertino Library, and there's one available at the De Anza Library. And I know they have more extended hours than we do.
That's true. Thank you. Further, last evening, we approved the application for Baxter's, which is the new name for Houlihan's Restaurant, to enclose their patio area for dining. We said that in regard to the problems behind Long's Drugs and the pizza establishment and the Chinese food establishment, we directed the shopping center owners to talk to the store owners that are affected, and we directed our own staff to come back in 30 days with a report as to what had happened. We hope that it will be positive. If not, we will take whatever legal recourse is necessary to solve the problems that are out there. We agreed to the increase in the number of apartments to be built across the street from the Cupertino Fire Station. We denied the appeal brought by Cupertino Inn. They had appealed the denial of architecture and site control for all of their signs. They had wanted 3. Architecture and site control told them they could only have 2. They appealed that, and we upheld architecture and site's decision and denied that appeal, so there will only be 2 on that hotel building that's presently under construction at the corner of De Anza Boulevard and 280.
And that's in conformance with our sign ordinance.
That's correct.
Yes.
We said that Linda Vista Park, the improvements there, because they're over budget, should go back for a review or an affirmation to Park and Rec Commission, and if the Parks and Recreation Commission does reaffirm that, then it'll come back to us on our consent calendar at the next meeting.
Barbara, before we finish with the council actions, and there are a couple of them I think I'd like to discuss with you and get into a little further, but there's another feature on this show which is, I think, rather fun, and it's also informative, and that's called our trivia question. Every show, Mayor Rogers has a question about either the history of Cupertino or something that's going on currently in Cupertino. And the first caller with the correct answer to that question receives a Channel 30 t-shirt. Now, we do have 2 at this time. We have the original one, which is the teal blue with our Channel 30 logo in black, but we have added another one, which I think is very attractive, and that's the white with the teal blue logo. So after Mayor Rogers gives you the trivia question, if you think you have the correct answer, if you'll just call 252-4641 and give your name to the operator, and he'll put you through to Mayor Rogers, and if your answer is correct, you will receive a t-shirt absolutely free. Now, we do need your t-shirt size, and then you can come by City Hall and pick it up at any time. Mayor Rogers, what is your trivia question tonight?
The trivia question tonight is, what two companies headquartered in Cupertino made the 1986 Forbes 500 list, ranking them as two of the nation's leading companies? To repeat, what two companies headquartered in Cupertino made the Fortune 500 for 1986?
I think the questions are getting harder as we go on.
So we'll see who of you is up on your financial information.
All right now we do have a caller waiting.
Great.
Hello, and welcome to Ask the Mayor.
Well, good evening, Mrs. Rogers.
Good evening. How are you?
Oh, quite reasonable.
Good.
As you recall, we had some interesting communications about 2 months ago on transportation around the neighborhood of Eaton School.
Yes.
And as I believe I remember, there was some note about a committee being appointed or something to study this, and I wondered what our status was and where we were going to go on it.
Your question is very timely because the committee made up of people in the neighborhood plus council members Plungy and Gatto are in fact meeting tonight.
Wow.
And this very moment.
We hope that with goodwill on all sides and a real desire to come to an equitable solution that they will be able to perhaps even decide tonight. They're meeting now, so I can't tell you what's happening. I presume they will be meeting indeed after 7:30, so I won't be able to give you any indication here tonight, but certainly we're all looking forward to whatever it is that they determine. And I expect with two council members on the committee, there will be, in some sense, a buy-in on the part of the council so that whatever is recommended has a much better chance of being adopted by council than some of the other controversies we went through at past council meetings.
Yes, we
So
certainly
thank you
did
very
have
much
some-
for your question.
We had some controversies, didn't we?
Yes, we did. It was challenging and interesting and frustrating.
Yeah, especially the latter, I'm sure, to the council. Well, that sounds very good. So I'll just push my patience button here and wait to hear.
Great, and we'll hope to have something positive to tell you really soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
for your call. I understand we do have a call-in on with the answer to the trivia question. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Okay. Barbara, we do thank you for that trivia question tonight. I do think it's a toughie, so, but I'm sure someone out there will know the answer. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about on the council actions that came up is recently I know you and the city manager and our finance director did go to New York and got the city's bond rating for the issuance of bonds for our civic center remodeling and the library remodeling. And part of that presentation was a videotape.
Right.
And I know that council did take action last night, and as a result of that action, the people who do watch Channel 30 will be able to see that tape.
Yes.
And I have seen that, and in fact, everyone who's seen it has said what a fantastic tape it is showing the city of Cupertino.
I had hoped that it would have been aired before this. There was some concern that because it was directed toward getting a good financial rating and not specifically across the whole spectrum of city activities, but sort of slanted in that perhaps it was not so appropriate as another tape that might be made in the future would be. But last night, as you said, Dorothy, all of us on the council felt that it would be very appropriate to show, and so that will be done.
Well, it is a beautiful tape. There was another action that was taken early in the meeting pertaining to the outreach and escort program. And I'd like to talk with you about that in a minute. But first, I think I don't want to keep the caller waiting, and we do have one. So hello and welcome to Ask the Mayor.
2489.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Is there something you'd like to ask, or do you have an answer to the trivia
Well,
question?
Ms. Mayor, I kind of think I have the trivia answer.
Good.
And I think it's Apple Computer
Yes?
and MeasureX Corporation.
Half right.
Half right.
Half right.
I don't know how we give you half a T-shirt, though.
I don't think we can.
Okay, just the front half. Anyway, no, I was concerned about one thing, Ms. Mayor, but I think it's being solved up there at Highway 9 and Stevens Creek with all the cars being sold up there.
Yes, we adopted last night an ordinance that will allow us to take action against anybody who sells used cars on their property, a commercial property, without a use permit to do it. And for the people who have the cars, they cannot put them there to be sold without getting written permission of the owners. So it's sort of a two-edged ability for the city to prevent this kind of thing happening. We thought we had the ability to prevent that before, but when it came down to enforcing the ordinance we didn't. So we passed another one last night. There will be the second reading of that ordinance at the next council meeting, which will be the 21st. It goes into effect 30 days thereafter, which will be the 21st of July.
Well, can't the owner of the property be compelled to get a permit to sell cars?
He can now that we passed that ordinance.
That's
Prior
good.
to that, he could not, and that was our problem.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Bye.
Now, regarding that outreach and escort service, Barbara, as I understand, that's kind of a paratransit situation, a cab service for seniors.
Right. For people who cannot get access to regular transit or transportation because they're either seniors, they're handicapped, whatever reason. There is a paratransit service provided, that's what they call it. The money for it comes from the gasoline tax, and it comes to the county. The county apportions part of it to the cities who apply to be used for paratransit purposes. There's been a reduction in income from the gas tax, so there has been a loss in funding as a result. Because we felt it important to continue this service in Cupertino for those who need to get around and otherwise could not, we took $5,000 from the Senior Center membership account to put into the outreach and escort account for payment on a one-time basis to keep up this funding.
A worthy cause, really.
Yes, when I am to the point where I need help getting around, I hope there's an outreach and escort service for me.
Me too. And I understand we have another call waiting. Hello, and welcome to Ask the Mayor.
Yes, I have an answer for your trivia.
Good.
Terrific.
I believe the companies are Apple Computer and Hewlett-Packard.
Well, close, but no cigar, as they say. And again, I don't know how we can give you half of a T-shirt, but we thank you very much for your interest, and you are certainly at least well up
Responding.
on financial things locally, just a little bit more.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's interesting. Nobody is missing Apple.
Well, that's
Yes.
a good thing.
Barbara, I know council did take some other actions last night, and perhaps you'd like to finish with those. I think we left off somewhere around Linda Vista Park is going to be
Right.
reviewed, because the bids did come in almost over double what we budgeted for that park.
Yes, and we have, after a great deal of discussion on the subject, talking with the neighbors and so forth over the last several years with the problems that have been there and many solutions being offered, we decided that we would indeed redo Linda Vista Park to make it better able to be surveyed and have less problems there, but it will cost money, and it came in over bid.
We may never get through council
That's all
actions
right.
tonight. We do have another call.
Great.
Hello, and welcome to Ask the Mayor.
Good evening.
First of all, I'd like to answer the trivia question. My guess is Apple Computer and Tandem.
You're right.
Yay! I like the
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Don't forget to leave your T-shirts on.
Would you You don't have to, but would you like to tell us your name so we can congratulate you by name?
Oh, certainly. Marilyn Johnson.
Marilyn, congratulations
Thank
to you.
I do have one comment that I
Good.
would like to make. Several weeks ago, we needed to have our sidewalk repaired, and a gentleman came out the very next day to do it, very polite, and we were impressed with the quick service.
Oh, I was all ready to take down your address because I knew you were going to say it hadn't been done yet.
No. It was, and we appreciate it.
Well, I'm so glad that you did. Those are the kinds of calls, of course, we all like to get, and to know that the staff did do a good job for you, and two great things about your phone call. Please call again.
Thanks.
I was going to say, keep calling, Marilyn.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's compliments are always
Yes.
nice to hear.
Anyway, the rest of the things that we did, I won't list them all. We did look at the 12th year funding for the Community Development Block Grant allocation. That is money provided by the federal government to communities to bring facilities in low-income areas up to code or to make them better under certain restrictions that the federal government has, and they add more every year, of course. Anyway, what happened was that we had programmed the money for the 12th year at a previous meeting, and that was in the amount of $100,000 for housing rehabilitation and $35,000 for senior citizen housing. We were cut back $23,000. So what we did was cut back both programs a little bit to $90,500 for housing rehabilitation and $21,250 for the senior housing fund. And we also directed staff to come back this first meeting in August with requests for proposal as to how money might be spent for senior housing and for rehab, and particularly to look at the facility of an applicant for that money where there seems to be a very urgent need, but nobody from staff has been out to look at it. So while we think it might be something we should fund, we need a staff report on that. So we'll be looking at both of those things. The first meeting in August, I believe that's the 4th. So if you're interested in that type of thing, you could get a staff report if you're interested. You could get the council agenda, or you can listen, or you can come in, you can call, you can write.
That's right. Speaking of calling, I think it's time I mention the phone number to call in again. It's been a while. It's 252-4641. So if you do have a question or comment for Mayor Rogers, please call. We are running out of time, so hurry up and get those calls in. And immediately following this program at 7:30 will be a show entitled Shoreline, From Refuse to Resource. And it's really an interesting program, and it shows how in Mountain View, the new amphitheater has been built on what is essentially San Francisco's garbage. This is a previous dump. It's been restored and has become a very vital part of that community. And so it's really interesting to see what can be done with a former dump grounds. And Barbara, also before tonight is over, I really want to get in some information about your upcoming trip to Japan.
Oh, yes. I plan to leave on the 18th of September, which is a Thursday, I believe, to be gone for 10 days to 2 weeks, depending on how it costs out. I figure it will be about $2,000 a person, and I'll be paying my own way. The city does not do that, so anybody else who goes has to pay their own way too. We can have certainly almost any number go along. 12 seems to be one number that's a maximum for certain kinds of things. Otherwise, you split up into two groups, that so forth. Anyway, we would be gone 10 days to 2 weeks. We would have 3 days in Toyokawa, where we would be essentially guests of the city. The rest of the time, we would be touring Japan, different parts of it, possibly go on to Hong Kong if we stayed the 2 weeks, or even maybe to Korea, where we now have a sister relationship between the De Anza School of Nursing and the nursing institution there in Masan, South Korea. I'm very excited about it. I wanted to go 2 years ago and couldn't afford it. And if anybody out there listening or watching would care to go along, please get in touch with me at City Hall.
Okay, please, the number during normal business hours at City Hall is 252-4505. And if you have questions during the day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, please call that number and talk to either Mayor Rogers or staff. And if you're at all interested in a trip to Japan and our sister city, please call Mayor Rogers. And I know it's almost the end of the show, but before it's over, there's a couple of things I really want to make sure I mention. And one is the Hometown USA video finalists. And we happen to have 4 in the city of Cupertino, 2 on the public access channel and 2 on this channel, one of which is Ask the Mayor. And the winners will be announced Thursday night. And also Thursday night starts the Jazz Festival up at the Oaks Theater, and at the Oaks Shopping Center, and it's absolutely free. So drop by. It'll probably be a beautiful night, and you can enjoy it very much. And Barbara, thank you very much.
Well, thank you
This
very much,
evening.
Dorothy.
And I want to thank all of you for watching tonight. And one quick mention, August 3rd is Public Safety Sunday, and there'll be some central fire protection equipment up at Memorial Park that you can look at and get a lot of information and learn. And be sure to call us during the week here at City Hall if you have questions. Thanks for watching. We will be back 2 weeks from tonight. Good night.
Good night.